Welcome, everybody, to the Monday Night Family Show. Oh, boy. Sorry about the delay. I'm trying to get Upside Down Ricky the right way up. Come on now. Turn the phone the other way.
You got it right now?
It's the
Oh,
wrong way.
she's still upside down. Okay, hold on one sec. Let's hope I don't black this out.
Don't touch the buttons and use your fingers. Now, don't be stupid now.
Hang on, man. Let's not talk about being stupid.
Well,
Now I'm upside down the other way.
I don't know what the fuck you did, but you did it backwards. And you know what? I can't help your stupidness.
How do you see it now?
Unbelievable. I'm sorry, folks, but this is the Monday Night Family Show, and I got to deal with a ding-dong every time.
How do you see it?
You're sideways. And you know what? When you learn how to figure it out, then you'll learn how to raise pigeons. Unbelievable.
Oh, so this has got something to do with figuring this out, and then I'll be a pigeon flyer. I
Well,
can't
yeah,
figure
because
this out.
I'm telling you, you've hooked up about 25,000 times, and you still got it wrong this time.
So today I got my picture here. I'm upright, but then on the other side I'm upside down, and you're sideways.
Well, that's just because you're dumb, but that's okay. You're going to figure that out next time.
You should have practiced today.
Well, we should have practiced it today, but I figured out if you rode the bike 75 times, you could ride it again straight. But hey, obviously not, guys. And remember, being a pigeon flyer means basically whatever you did last year, you'll fuck it up the next year. Because you want to know why? Consistency is key. So you can write it down, but you better practice. You better think of what you're doing. And you look great sideways.
So I'm sideways right now. I got one picture here where I'm upright. The other,
like I told you, at 2:30 in the morning, I'm going to do this shit, and you make sure you're ready. But you were ready, but you're sideways. So to me, you're not ready.
Well, to me, your sideways is right. You're the same way, sideways. So maybe I should turn the camera long ways.
Try it that way.
But then it won't go in the stand, right?
Oh my God. Just put it in the stand and turn the stand. The stand turns, my friend.
Okay, wait.
Anyways, let me read the comments. There you go. Now you're the right side up, except you still did it wrong, but that's okay. You know what? You're getting a lot better.
No, I got to put the stand somewhere. What do you want me to hold the stand all night long?
You know what? You know what you can do? When you're dumb, that's how you learn. You hold it. Unbelievable. All right, let me say hi to the people because you know what? You know what you remind me of? You remind me of a ding-dong that couldn't get the trailer going down the road straight. That's what you remind me of tonight.
Okay, so hold on. I got to get something to hold this stand up. I'm not going to be holding this thing all night long like this.
Hey, listen. I was in Blackpool. I had to hold a camera for 4 hours one way, and guess what? It hurt, but I did it. So you'll be all right. Don't worry. Don't move the camera. You don't want to get the audience sick. Let me read the comments here. Sorry, guys. You're looking at Ricky7 on the left of the screen here. Reminder, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. And if you like this show because it's real, I'll call Ricky a ding-dong right to his face, and it's okay. He had to bring a baby pigeon on because you know why he had to do that. You had to do. You're gonna get the relish container. You can't even hold it, eh? Anyways,
I'm not gonna hold this
Mike
thing
Green,
for 2.5 hours.
Oh, I'm not gonna be on here for 2.5 hours. Mike Green, hello, how are you? Michael Peevler, hey, how's it going? Peevler says hello, hello, hello. Tracy, good evening. How's the goats doing? Frank, what's up? Brian Mansker, good evening, everyone. Yes, Ron says, hey, Ryan, always happy to chat. Yes, Mike Vanderyak says, Pigeon Night in Canada live. Yeah, the only difference is we would never get rid of Don Cherry. We'd get rid of Ron McLean. Ricky, you're almost looking like Ron McLean there tonight. In and out, you'll work it out. Yes, we will. My loft design is nearly complete and construction schedule. Curious, what is everyone used to for their roof and why? Oh, you can use whatever is cost efficient for your roof. My man from Hawaii says, howdy, howdy, ho. Mike Green says, no, you're sideways. Who's sideways? I'm sideways? I can't be sideways. Ricky's got to be sideways. Jason Mihalik, hey, Jason, we want to get your birds out to you. We just had the cold restraint, and we'll try and get them out this Thursday. Ricky will get them out for you.
Yeah, we
Turn
got
the phone the
we're
right
starting to
side
get a
up.
bit of.
Are you talking about my phone or whose phone? Ricky's or mine? Come on, folks.
Maybe he's got the wrong phone.
Listen, first things first. First things first. I've done 3,500 of this shit. I know which way the phone goes. Ryan, be nice. Ha ha ha. I am nice. We just watched the movie Upside Down. Well, that's a good movie to watch. Good job, Jason.
Just need to
Uh,
pop that up just a bit.
no tardies, Ryan. I'm not having a tardy. We don't call it a tardy. We call it having a
So
Ricky
so
7. Ricky, I'm
so
reading
let
the
me
comments.
interrupt.
Could you
Let me
could you just
interrupt here. Are you sideways? I'm the right way, maybe.
listen? You've never been fucking the right way since you were born. You weren't the right way. Okay?
That's why I'm a happy guy.
You are happy. Josh Tribley says, "There you go, Ricky. You're the right side up." Well, he's got to get up there the right way. Shane Dennis says, "Good evening to all. First things first, Ricky. I photographed today. Get a load of this one. I
What?
photographed 16 pigeons, right?
Yeah.
If I were to buy the 16 pigeons, actually, if I were to buy these 16 pigeons that I photographed today,
Hmm.
I don't even know. My
Pardon?
friend, I never in my life photographed pigeons today
Hmm.
that just stood like they didn't give a shit. They stood like little machines. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was, to me, it was absolutely mind boggling how good these birds stood. And people say, well, how good did they stand? How good did they stand? How good did they stand? Watch this, Ricky, in the camera, okay? I'm going to bring one pigeon up. Look, don't feed the pigeon. Watch the screen. Now remember, get your face nice and close. The people watching, get your face nice and close to this. Watch this. Don't don't even worry. I'm just talking about the pigeon. Just hold on. Look at this. Hold on. Solo cam.
Hey guys, here I am, Ryan Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions in the hotel
Look at
room.
this pigeon. Look at this
Photographing
pigeon.
Serge
Look
Van
at this
Alstecker.
pigeon.
This is the 138.
Look at the
What
138.
a
Look at this
pigeon.
pigeon. Look at
No
it.
lion in the hotel room.
See? We're in the hotel room, Ricky. We're running open wheel. Take a look at
There
this.
is your 138.
Yeah.
Look at
Pigeon's almost standing like a like a statue.
it's the way God intended it to be. You see what
Wow.
I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
it's funny. I went to Surge's to take the birds back to Surge's, right?
Yeah.
Serge said to me, we started talking pigeons, and he said, "What was one of your favorites?" And then he said, "Was it the dark checker?" He didn't let me answer. And sure enough, it was the dark checker. We picked the same pigeon. But I will tell you guys, Serge Van Alstecker's pigeons, they're on another level. They're on another level. And then to come back with Guy Vandenauer and Guy's pigeons, I hate to say it, but again, on that same super level where you know when you're photographing super pigeons, it just comes. You just see it. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah.
like here's Guy's here. Look at Guy's grizzle. I'm going to show you Guy's grizzle, guys. Now this is a direct child. I know this pigeon 100%. This is a direct child from early gray. Ricky, are you ready? Look at this grizzle. I
Yeah.
literally wanted to not even put it in the auction and say, fuck it, I'm buying it. Look at this.
Take a look at this
Oh,
super pigeon. Direct from Guy Vandenauer.
Boy,
Direct child of early gray.
lot of strength on that.
you see the balance
The way
even in the
God
photo.
intended
You can
to
see it.
build thoroughbreds.
Look
at this pigeon.
That's a cockbird, that
Not a
one, eh?
machine.
Yeah, but see how it's put together?
Stands like a weapon,
Yeah.
looks like a weapon, and is built
And I'm telling
like
you,
a weapon.
it's
Direct
they
child
were
of
they
early
were
gray.
every one. Both auctions were like that. And I'll tell you, when you get to the level, when you get to that level,
Yeah.
and when you get these pigeons that win these nationals, and it's a collection of years of winning heavy big races. When you photograph those styles of pigeons, it's almost like the pigeons know exactly what's going to happen, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
You know, like
Su- su-
it, it's
super.
it's it's really weird to see it. And I mean, these pigeons here, they've been selected and they've been in a holding room, right?
Hmm.
But you can see they haven't been played with, they haven't been petted, they haven't been on, they're not on a super diet. They're on a regular diet, feed water every day, right?
Yeah. How old's that grizzle, for example? Is that a year old?
Yeah, late bred.
A late bred?
Yeah, you can already see the development right through the pigeon.
It's a late bred, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the body weight on it? I'm just saying comparing to our birds that we have here at this time of the year. How's the body weight on it?
I will say from North American pigeons, they have much better body weight.
So
Much
what I'm saying is a lot of our birds here at this time of the year, they're way overweighted because we overfeed them. Are those birds feeling like they're not overweighted, like, or are they just a little bit overweighted, or how are they?
Very little bit. Most of the guys I talk to here, when they'll feed the pigeons in the winter, as soon as two pigeons go for a drink, all the feed comes up.
Right. So they sit and watch, and they hand feed them, and they watch, and soon, right?
Yeah. Well, uh, Josh Tribley says, Ricky, tell us about the pigeon that you're hand feeding on the show. Go ahead, Ricky. Take the thunder now, my friend. Go ahead. You want me to wait? I'll
Well,
switch the camera right over to you so we can get Ricky in full blown sideways screen.
well,
There's
I
Ricky.
see both my pictures here. I got two pictures up here. Um, I left some sat nets together this winter, and I had one pair raise, or tried to raise a youngster. We had so much cold weather last week that this little thing here, it's only one egg hatched out of the nest, and I call her Lily. There she is. Uh, so I brought her in. I guess she's been in about a week. So I'm hand feeding her. When I brought her in, it was like, I don't know, probably minus 15 at night. And she just looked at me and said, "Hey, can you help me out? Because I don't think I'm going to make it." I really shouldn't have her. But, uh, that's where all pigeon men are still children, you know?
Oh,
So I brought her in and I'm hand feeding her. And she's just about ready to probably start eating on her own pretty soon. Um, the thing that I really found with her is if I put her on the counter and I'm finished feeding and I turn my hand this way on the counter, she'll come right into my hand and then I cover her up like this and she'll actually sleep. It's amazing how, she's taken to me. So this is one I shouldn't have, but I have it. Uh, you know, that's the kid in me. Um, you know, it's like a golfer at this time of the year probably has his golf clubs outside his bed. It makes him feel good.
oh, I
But
know.
that's her. She's a satinette, or well, I always say she's a non-show quality satinette.
Now, you want me
But
to tell you? That's bullshit. Because I figured it out, eh? I watched the movie I, Tanya. And that was the American figure skater. And the judges wouldn't give her good scores because she was a redneck and she didn't have good costumes and she kind of looked like a boy and she was a little rough and the judges wouldn't give her the score. There's no such
right,
thing as show pigeons. It's just who's ever asked you kiss at the show, you'll be a winner. I'm sorry to say, but I think it's all full of shit. The show stuff. That's my
Well,
thought on show pigeons. Because I look at it and really, what is a show? You mean
well, I know what you're.
someone's gonna look and say, that's a good show pigeon. I mean, you can't even really judge it. You can't race, you can't do anything
Well,
except who's ever looking
well,
at it.
so, well, some people they have their ideas of, to me, this is my pigeon. This is my show pigeon. Like, you know, she's got half her feather. She's going to be half feather legged,
Well,
and
what I'm saying is, I watch the guys that win the shows. Okay,
yeah,
you know what I see their number one doing? A lot of butt kissing. Show winners.
yeah.
You want to know why that is? The more ass you kiss, the closer you get to the top. I'm not into showing pigeons, and I never would do it. If I had to have that as a hobby, I wouldn't have pigeons. I'd rather have the wild pigeons on the street and look at them when I feed them. But I mean, that's just my thing. I wouldn't take pigeons into a show. I wouldn't take them from -20 and take them into a show and cook them out. I wouldn't take them into a show and dump them in with a bunch of other pigeons. I wouldn't take them into a show and dump them into North American cheap shavings. I wouldn't do it.
Well,
Actually, it's what I call it
as you
is it's torture to pigeons.
as you know, here in Canada, they put that wood chips shavings. I'm telling you, it's like 80% dust, sawdust, and then wood chips. And that stuff is terrible. Now, we bought some stuff from the States from, what's the name of that place again? That Tractor Supply.
Yeah, that stuff is good stuff. You should show that
I'm
next week.
telling you, that stuff is real wood chips, like shavings, no dust in it. It's clean. It's like you put that down in a horse stall. Horses like to go down the bottom of the stall and they snort a bit, and pigs will do the same. Well, if you got dust in there, that's not good for your horses. But uh, that stuff is good, and I know in Europe they don't use shavings. They use um, they don't use the dust. They use it's the
Chips.
shavings off the bark of the trees.
Yeah, it's even better than the stuff we got, and it's cedar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this
Hold,
here's a little satinette,
hold on,
and my wife
and
Nancy said,
it's perfect show quality. You're having fun, and it is 100. It can win at any show. It can beat any ding dong at any show. But
"Well, I
let me just get to the comments here, Ricky7.
yeah,
So, I'll get to the first one here.
I just got to
Uh,
get a little bit of feed here for her. I'm just going to get off the table.
okay, so Mike Green
Take me about a
says,
second."
pigeon shows are in the eye of the beholder. Yes, they are. Back to the elite birds, says my buddy from Hawaii. Mike Vaniak says, there's a lot of politics in pigeon shows. I like the clock to tell me which is the best bird. I agree. Actually, when I'm talking pigeon shows, I'm talking about any class. I'm not talking about racing pigeons. I'm talking about pigeon shows. I've went to pigeon shows and I've seen pigeons that have won shows. Their flight feathers are frayed. I've seen them with lice. I've seen them with mites. I've seen the feathers not tight. I've seen shit stains on the feathers. And I've seen guys winning shows like this. And when I look at it, do you know what I see? I see a fucking disaster.
I went to a show one time, and they had a race. They had racing category, racing pigeon category, and there's gay pie there, and the fellow that owned it, he was there, and I said to him, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's a racing pigeon." Yeah, he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, did it race?" No, no, it's never been in a race, but I had it trained out to 100 miles. So
It's
and
no
that was
sense.
supposed that he, nothing against him, but it was supposed to be a racing pigeon, for racing pigeons, race category, and that's what they put in there. Like, and I know that um,
But
which is the one there that Alfred won. That pigeon actually had to. Oh, she's starting to pick now. I don't know if you see it.
I see. Yeah,
Um, the bird
Olympiads is
actually had to
it's
do
different.
so many races and had to qualify before it could go in that final
The actual pigeon
exhibition
show, yes,
of show quality.
it's a different. Yeah, but what I'm saying is when I look at pigeon shows and go next week to Woodstock or go wherever, go to Kentucky and look at the show, right? I don't know what's going on there. To me, who's judging it? Who's friends with who? Who's this and who's that? To me, it's just a waste of time. And I think it's a great way to just spread the disease around. That's a good thing to do. And I mean, at least if you're going to judge in a show, at least be critical. When a bird has lice or a bird has mites or the feathers are all frayed, throw the thing out right away.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if it's got
I'm not
uh,
in. I know
fret.
I'm going to sound sour on this, but I'm just saying I just don't understand it because you said your bird wasn't show quality, and I'm going to tell you something. Most of the shit I see at the shows is no show quality, but people like to go and they socialize. I think it's more of a socialization thing or whatever. Anyways, we got some comments here.
Uh,
Uh, a guy in my club here, Tom Bernhardt, he told me to enter my birds because their confirmation was great. I could care less about the shows. I fly birds, I don't show them. I'm not talking about racing pigeons. Um, rate, yeah. I would never, I would never take racing pigeons to any show, a club show. I know the Niagara Falls thing. They do some bullshit show where they get people to come together. I don't know why they don't just get all the guys together to have some drinks and some food. Forget it. Leave your birds at home. It's minus 20 out. Why drag them in and get a bunch of ding dongs to look at them that don't have a fucking clue what they're looking at? You know what I'm saying? But they do. They like to do this. I call it the Actually, what they should do, this is what they should do. They should get their wives, right? All the pigeon men get their wives and we'll show your wives. I think that's better. Don't you think? Then we can get serious. We get into really showing. Because looking at pigeons, you're just taking them from, and I'll use our area, it's minus 20, bringing them indoors, bringing them outdoors. Everyone's got them fat like pigs. What happens? It's just a train wreck waiting to happen. But hey,
hey, I've taken pigeons to pigeon shows. I don't go to them anymore. This was a long time ago, and I had them in good flying condition in the middle of the winter. Like, I mean, those things can get out there and they don't huff and puff and they want to fly. Like, good flying shape. I've taken them into shows, and all the other birds, they're heavy like tanks. They're overfed, heavy. And guys are saying to me, "Oh, well, they don't like these kind of birds that you got here because they don't have enough weight on them for this." Well, you know what? That just turned me right off. I thought it's supposed to be for racing
well,
pigeons.
how
This
can you
show,
when you
like,
judge
how can you
when
show
there's
a,
if there's a
a
hundred pigeons that go into a pen and there's three of them that are the right weight and 80 of them or 90 of them that are overweight, the guy's going to pick the overweight pigeons because why? That's what you get brainwashed into your fingers. Anyways, you know what?
Okay, I was talking to someone last night, and I don't know if it's true or not. This person told me they were involved with the Royal Winter Fair, here in Toronto when it was on. Uh, well, it's on all the time, but this is some years ago. And they said part of the winning, you won semen from the bull. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was very, very like you if you won in there, you won semen from that bull.
Well, let me ask you, who was the ding dong judge in it?
I don't know, but I know George. He says they got to have the right amount of weight on the bull. It's got to, the shoulders got to be a certain width, and the hips got to be a certain width, and everything's got to be perfect. And they were telling me that they worked there, and they said part of the winning was semen from the bull.
Now, hold
Now,
on.
now,
No, hold on. Okay, I'm not worried about the bull stuff. Cayman says to me, Ryan, you're knocking guys for doing shows. That's what they like. Yeah, I know, right? I hate football. I hate football. I hate American football. I couldn't stand it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like baseball. That's my opinion. I think pigeon shows in any category, Medinas, Jacobins, fantails, rollers, tipplers, racebirds. Actually, beauty pageants, the same thing for people. I think it's all a crock of shit. Figure skating is the same crock of shit. When there's judges involved, it's all garbage. Pretty much. Now, that's my opinion. And I'm allowed to have that opinion like you are, K-Man. I wouldn't take my pigeons to a show. I don't need someone to grate the pigeon, look at the pigeon, because really, who's looking at it? And it's what they like. I like a blonde. I like a brunette.
well,
I like a redhead. I like a tall
the
person.
old
I like a
saying,
short person. What's the
the old
difference?
saying is beauty is in the
I
eyes of the beholder.
God
And
damn you, Ricky! You're on fire
and
tonight, eh? That's a
and
move, eh? Sideways, Ricky,
so
back at you.
I went to a show one time. I said, well, I got satinets, and I just wanted to ask the guy, well, what do you look for satinets? Well, they don't have feathers on their feet, just eliminate them all. And they don't have a certain crest, eliminate them all. But these are I say, somebody takes them non-show quality, but to me, they're my show. It's like you could have a dog that's maybe doesn't look like as much as a German Shepherd dog, but
We know, Ricky.
you bought him. He's a German Shepherd, but you know what? You really like that dog, and that becomes your showpiece, right?
Right. So, getting back to the comments, Ian Sybil says, wouldn't want to be the guy that has to get the semen out of the bull. That's Mike Vanderyak's job. Shane Hoffman says, I want to see the birds. I want to see birds in the show that won combine races repeatedly, and I'll go. Now, when I was saying about the show, I'm not talking just about race birds. I'm just talking in general. When you go to the Olympiad, these birds have had to win an accumulation of races over 2 years. We're going to go to the Olympiad and we're going to look at pigeons. Now, I won't be able to handle the pigeons there. I handled Olympic Henny, very nice pigeon. Her muscles, she's a 10 out of 10, medium size, all up front muscle, strong forearm. But if I was to knock Olympic Henny, her vent bones were slightly open, and it would be the only knock on her. Her eye was a 10. Her body shape and construct was perfect. But even an Olympiada from all of Netherlands champion can have a flaw. Okay. Now, think about it. In all of Netherlands, the whole country of the Netherlands, there wasn't a better pigeon than her, and she had still a flaw. She still
I
had
guess
a physical flaw.
I guess because she did that much more work, that over what do you call it? It overrode maybe her vents were a little bit open. They said they took that in consideration, right?
And hold on, the vent bones though were strong, and the little bit they were open. I'm just being honest. Would I have still bought the pigeon? Would I have still loved to own the pigeon? I would have. Would I have bred out of the pigeon? 100%.
Now, it's surprising how no one's asked, what am I feeding Lily? No one's asked. And
Don't worry about it.
look, she's so healthy. Right now I'm feeding her turkey grower pellets. I'm feeding her reindeer corn, and I'm also feeding her Old Roy dog food.
A little bit of Roy. Okay, let me read the comments here. 15 years I breeding border collies. I was the best in the show a couple of times, but was one man's opinion that's why I switched for racing pigeons. Well, I agree. Because if you piss off the guy in the show, right? Just like we pissed off the people in the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union, right? Fuck them. And I'll say fuck them again. We pissed them off. We said what was right, right? We got kicked out for no reason. Because it's what it is it's called politics. And you know what? I'm not here to kiss people's asses. And that's why I say the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union is a fucking cow track. It is.
Oh,
It's
that
actually
organization
the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union should give all the money back that they've stolen from the breeders. Give it all back, right? Close the fucking doors down, and guess what? Do something else.
We were wrongly thrown out.
I'm not talking about that now. I'm giving you my
And
sense
the
on
Up
it.
North Combine
Oh, well,
wrongly.
forget that. When the
Right. So
president,
let's not get into
hey,
that
hold on.
shit.
When the president can't have teeth in his mouth, right? Shouldn't be a president.
It's nothing to do
Anyways.
with teeth. It
Oh yeah,
means
everything has to
no,
do
no,
with your
no. It
fucking
has
teeth.
nothing
Oh
to do
yeah,
with teeth. What it
it has
has is
everything to. Yes, it has everything to do with your teeth, my friend. Did you see Donald Trump? His hair looks like shit, but at least he's working it, isn't he? He is. He's working it. Anyways, let's get back to the comments. I didn't mean to get up on the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union. That's another ban for another 7
It's the
years. Ricky.
truth. And if the
Hold
Canadian
on,
Racing
another
Pigeon
7
Union
years.
wants to come back at us, come back, because those guys are a bunch of friggin' useless pieces of shit.
Okay, hold on. Tracy said something here. Are satnet showbirds or what are they? They're droppers. We use them to drop pigeons. You throw them up,
Yeah, but
bring the
hey,
pigeons.
wait a minute. A satnet guy, he won't use them for droppers, but we use them for droppers, right?
Forget satnet guys. We're talking about what we use them for. Tin roof. Josh Tribley says go with the tin roof. I like a tin roof. They are good. Shingle roofs are good. What else? Tile roof, but you don't want to go with tiles. I would go with either a steel roof or I'd go with shingles.
Which is a tin roof. You know what? A tin roof.
Hold on.
I think a tin roof is way better.
Bradley Harper said, "Did anyone else hear that the Nanez loft burnt to the ground?" I didn't hear that. Well, I thought it was the Apple Cup that burnt to the ground. I don't know. Lofts are burning down. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it was the Apple Cup.
I don't know. I seen something the other day,
they're
but
advertising.
Anyways, there are three different. They're in three different states. Okay. Mike Green says that's the problem in North America. Too much politics. It's politics are all over the world. It's not only in North America. Shane says I've fed dogs. Wait, I fed dogs food pellets, but I made the mistake of getting too much protein and had muscle swell up. A bit of dog food once a week, I think, is good. Okay, yeah, you can give them just a little bit. Again, you can use turkey grower pellets. There's a lot of good protein out there. I mean, what people don't realize is you don't have to give them 100% protein. You're giving them, anywhere from 18 to 24% protein in the diet. That's a good amount of protein. That's a lot of protein. Think about how much protein you need. The little babies, you're on fire, Ricky. You are on fire tonight.
She's going to be a white flight. She's very intelligent. I'm telling you, she is so intelligent. This bird.
Well, he just brought the bird in. It was cold. The parents were neglecting it. It was he's just having a bit of fun, really. And you know what? Actually, guys, if you
Well, the thing is, when I brought it in, they were on like winter feeding. It's like I didn't expect this to happen, and it happened, and that's it.
yeah. And you know, though, it is a little bit of fun to feed a young pigeon. A little bit of a pain in the ass, but once a year, it's okay. It's good for you.
Oh yeah,
Mike
later on
Vanderyak
we thought,
says pigeons can't land or stand on a tin roof. Well, they can land or stand on a tin roof. They can. The steeper the roof, the better it is. Uh, the post said Nana's lost 750 birds. Well, I don't know. He lost 750 birds. My apologies to Rick Nanas for his loft burning down. It happens.
what are you going to do?
What are you going to
The
do? Houses burn down, hotels burn down, pigeon lofts burn down. Things burn. It happens.
Did it burn from both ends or just from one spot?
It'd be interesting to see the photos. Does anybody know how she burnt? Or was it a magical burn from end to end and in the middle, like 5 seconds burnt? Some people do not like their birds to land on the roof. Well, if you don't like your birds to land on the roof, then teach them to not land on the roof. There's multiple ways you can do that.
Well,
Again,
you know what? I think that I don't mind a pigeon to land on the roof, but when I tell him to get in, he better respond and get in. That's it. A couple little whistles. Let's go. In. That's it. That's a signal. Let's go. So I don't mind him landing on the roof, but when it's time to come in, he better come in. That's it.
yeah, I think it's you can put pickets up and you can put make the roof peak steep and you can do all this shit to get them to come onto the board, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it takes away your skill. You're learning to trap pigeons. It's almost like the same thing getting back with the electronic clocks. You know, how many pigeon men have started in the last 10 years that only used electric clocks? They didn't have to call the birds in and take the rubbers off and put them in the clock. You know, I will say something. I always remember going to the club, and every weekend you would hear somebody have a story. The clock jammed. I dropped the rubber in the loft, and I had all the other rubbers from weeks before on the floor. I threw the rubber over the fence. I couldn't get the bird in. And that was part of the race. That was the
Well,
man and the
what about
beast working together.
what about the other one? Um,
It sat on the roof
I
for an
gotta
hour.
cut that. I gotta cut that maple tree down.
Yeah.
You know.
But what I'm saying is, I know electronic clocks are great, but think about how much fun the electronic clock took away. Think about it, really, right?
Yeah,
And,
100%.
all you guys that are watching this, think about it. You have to call the birds in, and sometimes you get a bird that will come on week one, and you go in there like a raccoon, and you'd catch it and take the ring off. Week two, it would be your first bird again. You do it. By the third week, that pigeon wouldn't come in for you because you weren't smooth and calm enough, and you know, and I, I think that's kind of sad. But anyways, we got some more comments. Let's read them here. The loft is a total loss. Okay, well, he'll build a new one. He sold a lot of pigeons, and hey, he'll build a new one. He'll buy more birds. The fire inspector has not determined a cause on the loft fire. It is a total loss. Only the outside remaining walls standing. Okay, roof again. Blah 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 blah. And the metal. Well, let's see if they come up with a result. I don't think that other race that burnt down, they never had a result. I'm not going to use their name because they are all fucking sensitive. They're all sensitive. We don't want to use their name. But you know what I'm talking about, where you're printing money, the money printer, that one. But I never got the result from that one. But I hope Rick Nanas does, because I like to see what the result is. Because you know what? If he gets a result and he puts it out there, that helps you people to fix your loft so they don't burn to the ground. David Tracy says, I fed young pigeons with turkey baster soaked pellets in water and sucked it up, baster, and shoot it down the throats. How did that work for you? What do you think? Shane Hoffman says, dude, to this day, I use counter my clock. Wow, you're a real pigeon man then. I'm surprised they allow you to use that. But that's great. You're using a Junior T3. Well, send me a photo and I'll post it up next week. But I like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Hold on, Ian. Ian's going back on the way back playbacks here. Ian says, I had a stall trap fast to get bands off. Never scared a bird by chasing it. Yeah, well, that was the evolution, Ian. Remember, guys had in Europe, they had them fly through the window, and you have landing boards, and you had stall traps, and it slowly evolved into the electronic clock.
I don't know if anyone knew the fella. His name was Charlie Boss. I think he passed away 30 years ago or so, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, he was a German fella. I said, Charlie, I said, how is it for you trapping birds? Because we had to get the bands off then, right?
Right.
He said he was pretty strict. He said, oh, I have no trouble. He said, I sit in front of my loft on a lawn chair, and when the bird comes, I call it. It lands right on me. I take the band off and put it in the clock. This is what he said. He said he was that kind of a strict guy, you know?
Right. Now, here's my question for you people that are watching, okay, wherever you're watching from. What would you think about going back to manual clocks? I'm not against it. Are you, Ricky?
Oh, I like the electric clock, you know, because the bird comes, just crosses the pad, and there's no chase. Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's always that with the manual clock. There's that bit of excitement. Get the band off the bird. If you didn't have a stall trap, you had to go in the loft and pick the bird up. And bird always got stressed that way. But I like this electric clock. When they come, they just land. You give him a little whistle. Soon he crosses the pad. Bang! It's done. I think it's better for the bird. I like this. I wouldn't go back to that the other clock. I wouldn't go back to it.
Okay. I either way. I mean, I know electronics better and it's easier and it's faster and it does everything and it has 500 different things it does, and I like that. But it does lose a bit of the romance. And if they said tomorrow you're not allowed to use electronic clocks, you have to go back to manual, I wouldn't be against it. That's my thought on it. And again, it's only my thought. So, Don says, good evening, Ryan and Richard. Good evening, Don. Shane says he would love it. My combine hates that but it's my thing that Shane's using a manual clock still. Let's see, what else do we have here for comments? Mike Vandiak says, clocking from a lawn chair sitting in the yard is illegal. Well, guys, everybody, I want everyone to just stop. I want you to stop watching the show. And I want you to, while you're watching the show, I want you to give give Mike a round of applause, because the OPP, Mike Vanderyak, came off the top rope and said that was illegal. Now, I am just going to be honest with you. If you are the type of guy that can sit in the lawn chair and clock a pigeon in the lawn chair while sitting there, clocking it in the loft, it's not illegal. You're a great trapper. You have great control over the pigeons, and you put a lot of time. Hold on.
Yeah,
But
you know
Mike
what? I take my hat off to Charlie Boss for being able to do that, even though Mike's right, it's illegal. The bird's supposed to come through the window, through a trap. It's illegal, but you got to take your hat off to a guy that would sit there and have his bird so disciplined. That to me is like, who can do that?
Well, but again, it's legal, and hell with having a bit of fun. Eh?
Now,
Imagine how
can
many
you
times,
see? Can you see that bird from here?
Ricky, I'm not looking at the damn bird.
Take a look. I got my hand. I turned my hand, and this bird is so it wants to shelter. It wants to feel the heat from my hand. I don't know if you people can see it from there.
Oh, all right. Hold on. This is a great comment, and they do this in Holland. Certain clubs do it, certain races. Nelson Pigeon Law says we have an assortment of manual clocks in the back of our pigeon club. I suggested last year we have one special race that everyone uses the counter marks. I think it would be fun, and 100% it would be fun, and nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great idea, and I support it. I know they do it in Holland. I know Geert and Leander Munich told me that their club does it. I don't know if the whole area does it, but I know one race they do it in. That's a little bit of fun. Good job.
But
Mike Van.
wasn't it Xavier was telling you that in some of these open races they have electric clocking, but you also have to manual clock the bird as
Well,
well within 5 minutes of the bird's arrival.
yeah, they were doing that on the national races, but they've I guess they've stopped doing that now. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, what does Mike Vaniak say? Some people would like to go back to the horse and buggy. Yeah, Mike, you know what? Some people would like to go back to the horse and buggy. That would be good. Would be. Or we could, just get rid of the horse and buggy altogether and just do it on foot too.
Well,
Anyways,
I don't know. I don't know if you folks remembered, but when I liberated up in um, Matheson, it was about 8:30 in the morning. There was a couple. They were what are they, Amish people? I can't remember now what to call those people, but there's a couple. We got it right on film. The couple were on their way to church on a horse and buggy. They were all dressed up, nice, their suit on, and she had a dress on, and that on their way to church. And it looked so, it looked like Mike said, going back in time where we don't do that kind of thing anymore.
no. Well, Will says the pigeon auction you went to, the birds went cheap. A lot of the first night, the first auction, the birds were running at around 600 pounds for the first auction. So that'd be around 1,000, 1,200 a bird. The second auction on Friday night, the birds were running around 1,500 pounds, I think, a bird. And then the third auction on Friday night, the birds were running, I would say, at about 3,000 a piece, 4,000 a piece. And then on Saturday, the auction I went to during the day, I think the birds were around 600 pounds a piece. And then Saturday evening at this syndicate loft, I think they were probably around 2 grand a piece, maybe 1,500 to 2 grand in pounds. So around 2,500 US or 3,500 Canadian. There were some nice birds there. Again, you know, I couldn't handle the pigeons, so I used the guy that was walking up handling the birds, and I could tell when he would put it in his hands when he liked the pigeon. I could just tell. I could tell how the pigeon sat in his hand, and I could tell his actions. So there wasn't. I think the percentage of real nice ones wasn't that high for the price, but again, I can't say because I didn't go through them. I was just using my eyes. And who am I? Anyways, David Tracy says, in the past I had over 20 birds on the drop from a 300 mile pulling counter marks off. Hell yeah. That's good. Why not just call the bird out of the flock right from the liberation point? Well, Mike, he could have done that, but he liked to sit at home and get on the piss, as they would say, drink a beer on his lawn chair and have the bird land on his lap. That's what he did. I
But
don't think he
actually, if
was.
he could do that, still, I would give him credit for it. And I know there's groups of people, they have some flying birds and they meet at a park somewhere and they set their tables up, some tables, and they let out, I don't know, 10 birds. The birds go up for a fly in a strange park, and then they have to call them down, and the birds come right down onto this table. They get some kind of a timing thing or something. Like, that's incredible. They, like, I don't know what type of pigeons they are, but they take them out there. The birds come right down on that strange park, like could be 100 miles away from their house. They let them up. The birds come right down on that table, and that is real pigeon control. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Ricky Iglesias says, I want to say thanks for the advice. The 2017 hen I got from Anders Brobeck finally laid some eggs. Can't wait to see how they turn out. Yeah, sometimes when you bring new birds in, it doesn't matter, what's their age. They take a little bit of time to settle. And, I'm not going to lie. We've had pigeons that I've purchased. I didn't get eggs from them for 3 years, 4 years. Sometimes it's not right. Something's not going on. That doesn't happen often, but I've had it happen. Patience is key. And sometimes, hey, you can buy a bird and it just don't breed. I've seen it all the different ways. But I hope you get something good out of it and just be patient with it. And don't switch it. Let it raise its own youngsters and let it go back down again and just leave it alone. Don't get greedy. If you get greedy, you get stupid. Shane Hoffman says, guys in my club and combine aren't even home half the time. Well, there you go. They're not home half the time. Well, because they.
Well, because of the electric clock, that sort of takes uh, that part of the fun out. But then again, it can make it convenient for people. Maybe they have to take their child to a game, or maybe their wife has to. They got to go somewhere, and it kind of opens their life a little, opens up a bit of their life to doing other things, because
I get it. You
with
don't
the
have to
old
explain it.
clocking system, I gotta be home by 10 o'clock,
I wonder.
and that's it. The rest of you guys can go and jump in the river because I'm gotta be home by 10. And how many times has something happened
Just
where
talk for a
birds ran into
second. Can
problems
I just
and a
talk for a
bird didn't
second?
come till 2 in the afternoon?
Can I just talk? I wonder, like in like men's league baseball or softball or whatever, if they have like automatic hitters and catchers and shit, so you can take your kid somewhere else. When you signed up for something, you signed up for it. But
Well,
I
that's
get
a
you.
hundred. You're a
Now,
hundred
anyways,
percent right.
let
But
let
I
me get
know
to the
how.
comments. Let me get
Mhm.
to the comments. Ian said, I thought birds at Blackpool brought some big money. Yeah, there were birds that brought 100, that bought 67,000. But I look at the group as a whole. The William de Bruin pigeons, they were anywheres from, they were crazy numbers. But looking at it as a whole, the Dodoif pigeons, I think they were probably around 3 to 5,000 a pigeon. If you took the group as a whole, that was including the $67,000 pigeon. They got great money.
Sixty-seven
All
thousand pounds.
pounds. They got great money. They set records there. And all the big record pigeons, they didn't go to the UK. They went to China. Celise was there. She was buying them for China. She was buying pigeons. This woman from China, She just goes like this. This is it. The finger stays up, and they just keep counting. And you ain't gonna beat her. If that woman is in the room and she bids, there's nobody will take her out. I went out for dinner after. I went out with her with Dirk Leakins and them. We went out. She has the clients in China. They just give her the green light, and it's done. So, uh, all the big pigeons, the big, heavy spent pigeons, they all went to China. Or 85% of them did. You can ride a horse and buggy to the strike off. Yes, you can. Shane says it's called racing pigeons. My high is watching them hit the roof and drop in. It's a crazy high, and it is, and it's a lot of fun taking the rings off. It is fun. I think the electronic clock trained pigeon men to not be as good as pigeon men. It made
I
good
think you're,
pigeon it made good pigeon men even better, but it made shittier pigeon men shittier.
yeah, I think you're right there.
Hold on, we got more comments. Alex says, "Hey bro, why don't you make a video with Dirk Vandenbalk?" Well, I can't make a video with I can, but when I do the videos, I like to get birds to auction off because then I get people say, "Well, why aren't you auctioning off Vandenbalk pigeons?" I can't work with Vandenbalk. He's got a contract. He works with the Flanders collection. I've talked to the Flanders. Nah, it ain't gonna work right now. It ain't gonna work. So you will see people, same like Dean Pallett. I wanna do an auction with Dean Pallett, but I can't do one because he's with PIPA. So I'm not going to go there and do work for PIPA and get nothing in return. I'm just sorry I'm not doing it. When it's my time, it'll be my time. But I have had offers to talk to Dirk, meet Dirk. No, it's okay because there's no point. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. His interview with me would be fantastic. But, what do we say? Everyone's got to scratch everyone's back a little bit. Got to be fair. Like I said, I met a guy in the UK, a real good flyer. His wife come to me and said he's a real small off. And he got 4 or 5 pair of pigeons, and he's won all these races. And they showed me, and he said, "Would you come and do a loft tour?" I said, "Oh, sure, I'd love to come and do a loft tour. I need a pair of pigeons." Well, what do you need a pair for? Because I'm going to sell them. Because after I do the tour and we sit down and we talk, people are going to want your pigeons. Well, no, I'm not here to sell pigeons. Now, what are we going to do? You want my people that watch. They want. Everyone wants something. Hoosier Outdoors says one pigeon went for 67,000. Another went for 40 in Blackpool. Yes, that's right, they did. But that wasn't all of the pigeons. But there was a group of super high pigeons, and they all went to China. Mike Green said, "Gotta remember that in LBS, not US, $100 is equal to 137. Yes. Pounds is worth more than US dollars. The British pound I think it's one of the most expensive currencies. Uh, there it is.
Well,
You're right, Mike.
58, I think it was 68,000 pounds is 115,000 Canadian dollars.
And Mike Green says, "I have a hen I purchased 2.5 years ago. She sells in late in May, but I'm going to try this year. And sometimes, guys, the best thing to do when you try them is throw them in a section with pigeons that you don't even care about. Maybe it's a dropper in there, a fantail, a fancy pigeon. Throw it in, and next thing you know, boom, it's on eggs. It just, something needs to have a spark. Don't like the cock, doesn't like the hen, doesn't like the system, doesn't like something. I've seen that. Will says, well, I guess I watched the wrong auction. One I watched, they went for 300 to 700 pounds. Yeah, that was the Les Green auction. Les Green's auction. Most of those birds, I think they would have come out at around in an average of 45 lots, maybe 600 pounds. The odd bird hit 1,400. There was a lot of 250s. There was a lot of 500s. You take an average. But again, 700 pounds in US dollars is probably 900 bucks. So around 1,000 a bird. So the Chinese prefer the European birds. The Chinese are only interested in the Dutch and the Belgian pigeons. Pretty much. That's it. That's all they're interested in. You that's what they want. Because the pigeon mecca is Belgium and Holland. That's the birds that they want. And they will pay anything that they feel that it's worth. They're not shy. They just spend. And a lot of the time they're just collectors. What's the big craze in China? Well, Chinese, they like what they like. It's a status symbol. They have races that pay Rolls Royces. They have actually, I will say, in China they have real $1 million pigeon races. Not like this shit we see here all around the world, where they say, look, quoted, we're paying $1,500,000. And first drop gets 500,000, and then the triangle starts, and then the next 350 birds make this much money. They actually have races there that the bird makes $1 million. The bird wins a Rolls Royce. But again, they got way more pigeon men. They got way more money, and they're crazy. And you know what? They don't give a shit. And I haven't been there, but I will go there. Jordan Polson says, some of my best memories of pigeon racing when I was a kid was with the manual clock. Jordan, you and me are the same way. I can remember every Friday night, Ricky would always let me set the clock. Remember that, Ricky?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a trick. You had to learn how to set it and fold the paper and lock it in and pull the thing and pull it tight enough so you don't strike the clock off and write your name on it. Make sure you wind the clock. And it was a whole fun little thing. And when you started the clock, you had to listen to the clock. That was fun. That was fun. And this is what the Chinese do. The Chinese have the best collection of Belgian pigeons ever, and that's never going to change. But even with the best collection of pigeons, they are not Belgium and Dutch pigeon flyers. Like I said, you could take all the pigeons out of Belgium and Holland, get rid of them all today. And in 3 years, the Chinese would be back in Belgium buying Belgian pigeons. And the Belgians would have to start from scratch. Because it's just better pigeon men. I think the best. So the one great thing about our auction site is you guys are paying in Canadian dollars, and you guys you don't have to bid against the Chinese. We've had the odd one, but we haven't had the ones that are crazy. Not crazy, but the ones that they don't worry, they just bid. So that's a good thing. I have no stars. Don't worry, Rob. You're full of stars. You're a star in my book. Mike Green says Chinese pay a lot to play for money. Yeah, they play a lot for money. I have a Junior T3. It's electric, but it takes a rubber band. LOL. Okay. David Tracy says the dog's yakking up above him. No, Sydney's got a cold. So yeah, this week I'm going to be going to Maastricht in Holland to the Olympiad. I'm going to go there. I'm going to look at the booths. I'm going to walk around. One good thing at the Olympiad, I should have good internet there. In Blackpool, the buildings are so old, they don't have internet in them, so the internet sucked. When the internet sucks, it's just no fun. Today, even the room I was in, it's in the bottom of the hotel here. I had to come up to the bar. So when the internet's not good, the shows aren't the best. I can't help it. And when you guys say, hey, it's buffering or it's shitty, I appreciate it, but there's nothing I can do. There's only so much internet I can get. I think last time I was here, my internet bill was over $4,000. So everything that you guys see on the internet, it costs us money. That's why we say, if you like our content, wherever you're watching, buy a bird, support it, get into our race. Our Pioneer One Laugh race is up and running. We got one guy signed up, Carlos Textera. I'm giving him a Pioneer hoodie, Ricky. He's the first guy to get on the board.
Good.
You know that? Come on, guys, let's go. Is the beer good over there? Oh, Shane, if you get on the Pigeon Boss tour, you can try it. It's the best beer you'll ever have. There is no beer like in Belgium. I hate to say this, guys, but I'm not a beer drinker, and I will tell you, the beer in Belgium is phenomenal. It's great. It goes down smooth. They've got different levels of strength, from your 4.5 to your 12% beer, flavored beer. And on this Pigeon Boss tour, you're going to try the different beers. And there are over 800 beers to try, but we're going to give you the main ones that'll make you feel good. So definitely I recommend the beer in Belgium. And I drink liquor, and the beer here is great. If I go out with Pigeon guys and they're buying beer, I'll have beer. Because, hey, when in Rome, what do they say? Do you like the Romans? That's my thought on beer. It's better than in Holland. Sorry, Dutch people. Rob Wong says I'm in it. No, hold on. Mike Green says I'm in it. Rob Wong says, "Oh, good. I'm glad you're in it." I looked the other day. And Carlos Textera was the first one to sign up. Good job to Carlos. Again, guys, I think it's going to be a fun race. Ian, are you coming back this year to regain your championship title? Don't do the Brad Wogan horse shit on me, eh? And by the way, I say it as it is. Rob Wong, he's got a question. So, who's the best in Belgium right now? As ace pigeon, short distance, middle distance, long distance? I wish I knew because all I see is Peepa on Facebook. Well, sure. That's Peepa's job, is to pump their own tires. Pump, 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 pump. Look at good pigeons. Yeah, good. Not for me. I'm not the most interested. I mean, who's got the best pigeons? Take a look. Look at Willie Daniels. Look at Chris Clarebot. Look at Serge. Look at Van Zuren. Forget Porsche. Porsche is what they've put together to feed it to you. They feed it to you. They feed Porsche to you 7 days a week. Porsche, Porsche, Porsche. They picked a name like Porsche. Great name. Great marketing. Great. It's good. Pigeons aren't bad. I know. But they're not worth that. But hey, it's whatever anyone likes. And people, they do a great job of marketing their Porsche. That's the bread and butter. They're going to have to come up with something new because eventually he's going to die. Same like Kittle. Now they're on to Blizzard Kittle. The Blizzard, whatever it is. But the Blizzard is not Kittle. He gets an award. Yeah, he does. Give him one award, Tracy. Don't mind today, okay? Did mine today. Mike Green did mine. Okay. Okay. Mike Green says, got second average. This last going for first average. You got to get the first average. Okay. David says, when One drinks, we all drink. I like that, David. We all do. Shane Dennis says, I tried to sign up, but none of my email addresses are working. Well, send me a text message and we'll get you hooked up. Don't worry, you're not an asshole. You're only a prick, but that's okay. Rob Wong says, yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. They kind of steamroll you about Porsche. Well, what you have to understand was when people originally started, they did what we did. They would go to these little lofts, big lofts, and they would promote them. And they still do that to a point. But what they realized was if we buy certain pigeons and we make our own little line, we can drive it down everyone's throat, our own birds. And we'll have big, massive auctions, and that's how it is. That's what they do. When you're here in Belgium, 99% of the people, they're not into Pipa. They hate Pipa. They're not interested in Pipa. They won't work with Pipa. They still have their little group of Pipa sheep, and that's okay. But they forgot what made them Pipa. Now it's just Porsche. It's not Pipa anymore. Mike Green says the birds are worth what people are willing to pay. That's true. And the same goes with Gannis. Yeah, well, hey, Gannis and Pipa. Pipa's been doing it for 20 years, and Gannis has been doing it for 40 years. That's it. You can't take that away. They got the longevity, right? How much percent you keep from the perch fee? I keep all of the perch fee. I don't know. What's our perch fee? I think we keep $160 a bird. 160. 160. I think it's 160 or 166 on a 6-bird team. And anything under a 6-bird team would keep $200 a perch fee. Yeah, I think that's it. Canadian, though. So, whatever. But again, cost efficient. Canadian at $200 a perch fee. I don't think that's bad. I think that's right in the hub. You know what you guys are going to get. We're going to push them into the ground. We'll find the pigeons that do it. You know, we won't send 400 birds to or 300 birds or 500 birds to 400 miles and get 30 on the day. The birds haven't been worked out enough to do it. And I see people, they're so happy. They're so happy. Could you just fucking tell me, please? Could you give me the honest? It's horse shit. Oh, I'm so sick of this. Hey, Ricky, you know what?
Yeah.
This year when we fly, if the wind ain't fucking 20 mile an hour up their ass, don't take them. You want to know why? Because every race, this is how it's got to be. And when they get a hard day, right? Not a hard day, 1260s, and the pigeons wobble and crash and burn. You know what everyone says? Oh, birds are great. 30 birds on the day. Great. Anyways.
Drop the chocolate.
Mike Vaniak says, Pipa's still waiting to call me. Mike, you don't have the results. Pipa's not going to call. You don't have Porsche. And, yeah, Pipa's not calling. Oh, and like Alfred said, Pipa looks for the small lofts to wipe them out completely. They go for real small lofts, take their birds for 2 seasons, and wipe them out. Then they can't come back. They won't get the big guys anymore. Like you see Koopman, he's not going with Pipa. No way. He don't want to go there. Anyways, K-Man says Pipa is a ripoff. Well, hey, Pipa set the market. I watch people. They're so proud when they buy a pigeon off of Pipa. They put the fucking photo up. I've seen people take pigeons they bought from us. And guess what they do with the photo, Ricky? They take our logos. They chop it up and take our logos off. You know what I think? Those are the people that should go to Pipa.
I think I use my old saying, they're nothing but schmucks.
Yeah, hold on.
I used that before that phrase.
Yeah, Mike didn't know what it was, so just leave it alone. Shane says, how many birds are you looking for? However many birds we're going to get is how many we're going to get. No limit. Take 10,000 birds this year. And if the loft doesn't hold it, we'll just burn it down. Ricky, can you light a loft? You know what I want you to do, Ricky? I want you to light the loft on the camera from one end to the other. Like, we're not going to say an electrical storm. Like, we're not going to say electric currents. We ain't going to say none of that shit. We're just going to burn it down on the camera. What do you think of that?
That'll be an event, won't it?
Hey, you know what would happen if we tried that? She wouldn't burn. I'm only joking, guys. No, we're not going to burn it down. 500-600 birds, 700 birds, whatever. We'll make it work. Oh, Shane, I'm not overly worried, my friend. Take it as a, what do they say? Water going off a duck's back. We're not here to burn lofts down. Remember, guys? All lofts eventually will burn. Just a matter of how and what's the reason for it. I don't know.
Well, you got to look at it this way. This is, I believe, our 15th year in one loft racing. We haven't burnt yet. We've had some pretty good lows and some good highs. So she still hasn't burnt. So, yeah, we could take a lot of shit in our face, right? And we don't burn. We don't walk away. It's been 15 years. So what they say is shove that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, Mike Green said burn it down and then build it back. Remember we had the house next door burnt down. The loft almost caught on fire and we put them out. We should just let them burn. We would at least had a real fire on camera.
That was amazing. Yeah, all that smoke and all the birds went on the floor. Yeah. They hit the floor, remember?
To get out of the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, hey, you know what? That's what it is. The fire next door didn't even get your loft on fire. No, it didn't. We got lucky on that one.
But the door frame around the garage doors there, they were starting to burn. Remember, we had to put them out.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. I mean, that was just we got lucky. The right spark didn't hit us, but
and we got the cornfield where crops of reindeer corn is harvested from that field, and there's stubble in it. And John called me up. John Donor, he called me up and he said, over next door in that 100-acre field, the stubble was burning. Sparks were flying over.
Yeah, well, remember that tree there? Remember the tree in between the red loft and the blue loft? That caught on fire. I mean, we had a few things catch on fire, but we got lucky. The house didn't burn down, and all the lofts managed to stay upright.
Well, we got a new roof out of it. That's the main thing.
We did. K-Man says, who started the fire? I don't know, the people next door.
We don't know what happened.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't. We weren't there. All we knew is the greenhouses caught fire, and it was all fiberglass, and that was what do we call it? One hell of a memorable moment. It made it for us. We were in taking birds that day.
Yeah, and we smelt the smoke, and we going, oh, Jimmy's burning pressure treated, and holy mackerel. Yeah.
Well, Mike Green's heading home. We've been on for an hour and 20. Guys, we got running Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions this week.
Mike Green's the truck driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, what does he think of Hendricks Springs? And the Camelback Springs?
You don't care. Anyways, this week we're going to go to the Olympiad. I'll get some videos. I'm going to do some more photos. Right now it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to meet Guy to give him back his birds. I did a whole two groups of birds today. Birds look great. Van Zoren auction is running now. Guys, all the birds that we are selling on this quarter, these are some of the heaviest hitters. Okay? So please watch. You're getting a deal in the Canadian dollars. You will not be disappointed. Today, I think I did 16 pigeons, and I shook my head on the quality. Wow. But Ricky, let's see next Monday. So this week we got one person signed up. What are we hoping for next week?
Another person.
2 people. Let's have 2 by next week.
Yeah.
We got to get the camera going the right way, which we will. Tracy says goodnight. Michael Peevler says goodnight. Ricky, I'm going to say goodnight. And I'm
You
going to
see
say
this bird? You see this bird here? This little bird is sleeping under my hand, and she actually looks for this. It's incredible.
well, Ricky, take her to bed tonight.
Oh, there she is. Look at her.
And hey guys, reminder, if you didn't like what I say about pigeon shows, it's okay. I love them. If it gets you out of the house and gets you doing something, great. Enjoy your pigeons. Ricky, I'm tired. I'm done. I got to go to bed, man.
Okay, have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday, Ricky, and I'll have some video footage for you.
I'm gonna try and get this thing the other way.
All right, we'll work on that this week and figure it out. But you did a really good job. Sorry, guys, that we were late. Get signed up to our one loft race and check out what we got going on at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. If you like what we do, the best thing you can do is buy yourself a pigeon. You're not going to go wrong. And our Pigeon Boss Tour, we still got 3 spots remaining. All right, Ricky.
Okay, take care. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
We'll talk again.
Bye for now.
Bye.